I had been in love with my wife, Mary, for 5 years and married to her for 2. But then she started having an affair with her assistant, John. I pretended not to know, secretly collecting evidence of their intimate moments. When I finally confronted her, she knelt at my feet, crying and begging me not to divorce her, insisting that her feelings for him were just a fleeting infatuation, not real love. Mary thought she had hidden her affair well, but the signs were all there. It started with her work hours becoming irregular. Every time I called, she claimed to be working late. Then she began smiling at her phone, quickly closing the screen whenever I approached. During our meals and conversations, she would often zone out. She developed new interests, changed her speaking style, and started liking different foods and activities. She lost enthusiasm for the things we used to enjoy together. Despite these changes, she would bring me late-night snacks after her supposed overtime, perhaps to cover up her guilt. She became more affectionate, almost as if we were back in the passionate days of our early relationship. But I knew our love was deteriorating, like leaves slowly rotting away. She had fallen for another man, John, her best friend's ex-boyfriend. He was younger and more handsome than me. I wasn't unfamiliar with John. He had been introduced to us by Sarah, a friend who never brought her boyfriends around. John was special, and even after their breakup, Sarah was heartbroken for months. I first saw John in Mary's office. He had joined her company and quickly became her trusted assistant due to his impressive resume and skills. Not long after, my marriage hit a crisis. One rainy morning, as Mary was leaving for work, I yawned and reminded her to take an umbrella. She looked at me, concerned. "You stayed up late working on your project? Go back to sleep." I hugged her, burying my head in her neck. "I just want to hold you. We haven't had dinner together in days." She kissed my cheek lightly. "Once I finish this project, we'll go on a trip." I patted her head. "Do you have to work late tonight? Can we have dinner together?" She checked her schedule. "I have a dinner meeting, but I'll try to come back early." But she didn't. I lost count of how many times she had broken her promises. I sat in the restaurant, calling her. The first time, she answered, her voice low and apologetic. "I'm still in a meeting. I'll be a while." I waited another hour and a half, sent messages, but got no reply. Finally, she called back. "Sorry, can you wait a bit longer?" By then, the restaurant had changed customers several times. I asked coldly, "Can you really not make it?" Her voice was slurred. "I have some things to handle. I'll be quick." I sighed. "It's just dinner. It's not that important. Come home early." She felt guilty. "I'll take tomorrow off and spend it with you." I responded absent-mindedly, "Sure, whatever you say." John had a social media account with tens of thousands of followers. He had just posted a new update, a photo of himself holding a wine glass, looking smug. The caption read, "Know your worth. What's yours is yours. What's not, you can't force." The comments were full of praise. I scoffed. Mary had lied to me. John had just secured a big deal for the company, and they were celebrating. She could have told me, invited me, but she chose not to. She thought I didn't know, but I had been aware of everything since she started acting strangely. Today was my birthday. It shouldn't have been so miserable. I scrolled through my contacts and sent a message. "Hey, are you free?" The reply was almost instant. "Yes, big brother." I sent my location. "Join me for dinner and bring a cake." A few minutes later, Emily arrived with a small cake and a bouquet of flowers. She was young, vibrant, and effortlessly drew attention. I stood up and waved, "Over here." Emily hurried over, handing me the flowers. "I hope I'm not late." "Happy birthday, big brother." I smiled. "Thank you." We ordered some food, and she carefully set the table, lighting the candles on the cake. "Happy birthday, big brother." I took a photo and posted it on social media. "Happy birthday, David." Then I blew out the candles. She looked puzzled. "You didn't make a wish?" I smeared some frosting on her face, laughing. "Wishes are for those who rely on luck. I believe in working for what I want." She blushed, nodding. "You're right, big brother. In our culture, fairness and justice are crucial in a marriage." Mary chose to spend my birthday with another man, so naturally, someone else would keep me company. Emily was my cousin's assistant, a bright and cheerful young woman who had just entered the workforce. My cousin spoke highly of her, calling her the studio's ray of sunshine. The day I discovered Mary and John's affair, I spent a long time alone on the studio balcony. Emily brought over 2 bottles of beer, handing me one. "Big brother, what's bothering you?" I took the beer. "My wife is thinking of cheating." She was so shocked she stuttered, "Really?" I laughed. "No, just kidding." We clinked bottles, and I asked, "Do you have any worries?" She joked, "Of course, I'm broke." I laughed, not taking her seriously, as she was always dressed in high-end brands. As Mary's behavior became more outrageous, I drunkenly proposed a deal to Emily one night. She agreed more readily than I expected. After posting the photo on social media, Mary called, "David, where are you?" "At our favorite restaurant." She sounded remorseful. "I can't believe I forgot your birthday." I took a bite of cake. "I was planning to punish you tonight." My fault, my fault. I'll make it up to you. Wait for me. I'll come to you." Emily sat across from me, her eyes on the table, hesitating before asking, "Big brother, is she still with him?" "Yes, they're celebrating his success tonight and forgot my birthday." Emily bit her lip, trying to find words to comfort me. "Don't be sad." I finished the cake. "I can't help it. That's why I asked you to keep me company." She blushed visibly, but tried to stay composed. "I'm honored." As Mary arrived, I handed Emily some money. "Thanks for the cake, little one. And the flowers. I really like them. Can I take them home?" She nodded. "Of course, they were a gift for you." "Thanks for tonight," I said, patting her soft hair. "Come by the studio sometime." She showed a rare bit of temper, dodging my hand. "Don't pat my head. I'm not a child." Mary's car pulled up outside the restaurant. She had a driver, and John was in the passenger seat. He greeted me casually. "Long time no see, David." I nodded, holding the flowers. The driver opened the back door, and Mary, looking tipsy, got out. She saw the flowers in my hand. "Who gave you those?" I sat beside her, holding up the bouquet. "A cute little friend. I really like them." Mary kissed my cheek, whispering, "I'm sorry I forgot such an important day." "Your mind was elsewhere," I said, touching her head. "I waited for you, hungry, while people in the restaurant looked at me like I was a fool." Her guilt deepened. "You should have reminded me." I whispered in her ear. "I wanted you to realize it yourself and make it up to me. If it weren't for that little friend, I would have spent tonight alone." Mary, now quite drunk, held my hand, her eyes unfocused. "I'll make it up to you. Tell me what you want." I leaned into her neck, kissing her cheek. "I want my wife." Her breath hitched, and she gripped my hand tightly. John, still in the car, knocked on the window. "David, the boss drank a lot tonight. If you can, make some hangover soup for her. It'll help in the morning." I thanked him. "I'll have the housekeeper handle it. She's better at these things." His smile faded. "All right, take care." I pushed away the sleeping Mary, looking out at the passing night, a silent laugh escaping me. I brushed my fingers over her face, thinking, "Mary, you betrayed me. You deserve to suffer." The next day, she finally asked, "Who was with you last night?" "I was in the bathroom, a young friend from my cousin's studio." "Do you remember her?" Mary tried to recall, but she hadn't been to the studio in over 6 months. I changed the subject. "Can you water the flowers for me?" She complied, her thoughts interrupted. As promised, Mary took the day off to spend with me. "Are you sure?" I asked, feigning concern. "Won't it affect your work?" She hesitated, then said firmly, "Work isn't as important as my husband. Today, I'm all yours. Where do you want to go?" I hugged her tightly. "You're too good to me." She smiled. "You're so easy to please." "I'm not that easy," I replied. "I just love you, so I put you first." We planned a trip, and I posted photos of our plane tickets on social media, captioning it, "Spontaneous Getaway." Friends liked and commented, envious of our seemingly sweet relationship. I turned off my phone and put on an eye mask before the flight. Our trip was planned for 10 days, 4 destinations. On the 6th day, we reached our 3rd stop. While Mary was showering, her phone rang. I waved it at her. "It's for you." She took the towel I handed her. "You can answer it." It's probably work. I wouldn't know what to say, I replied. She took the phone, hesitating before answering, "Hello?" She walked to the balcony, her voice carried away by the wind. I lay in the hammock, flipping through the hotel's menu. After ordering, I checked social media. John had posted again, facing new challenges tonight, with a determined emoji. Fans asked about the challenge, and he replied it was work-related, earning praise for his dedication. At dinner, Mary seemed distracted. I talked about our plans, but she kept checking her phone. After the fourth time, I stopped. "I'm not talking anymore." She noticed, pushing her phone aside. "Why did you stop?" "You weren't listening. Your attention is on your phone. Is there something valuable in there?" She smiled, handing me her phone. "There's something, but you can check. My phone has treasures, but I won't show you." I took her phone, opened the camera, and said, "Let's take a photo together." She was reluctant. "No, let's not." "Fine," I said, snapping a picture of her peeling shrimp for me. At 11 p.m., we were watching a movie when her phone rang again. Mary went to the balcony to answer. I watched the movie, not hearing a word. 15 minutes later, she returned, sitting beside me. At the end, I asked, "What was the movie about?" She hesitated, unable to answer. I sighed. "I didn't get it either. We're both fools." She smiled faintly. Our trip was cut short. Mary hesitated. "Should we go back early?" I was shaving. "Why?" "The best part is yet to come." She sat on the bed, conflicted. "Is something wrong at work?" I turned to her, checking her forehead. "You seem anxious." She held my hand. "What are we doing next?" "You weren't listening at dinner. You wanted to experience different cultures, right?" I planned it all. "Next, we head west. Enjoy hot springs, then." Her phone rang again, interrupting me. She silenced it. "Go on." I lost interest. "Answer it. What's so urgent?" "Nothing," she said. "The company can manage without me." The next morning, Mary said, "We might need to cut the trip short." I looked at her. Why the change of heart? "John drank with clients last night and ended up in the hospital." I sat up. "Is it serious?" She bit her lip. "I can't explain over the phone. We should go back." "Call and find out first," I said, reaching for my phone. She stopped me. "Let's just go back. I'm not a doctor or nurse. Why should I go back? Let's finish the trip. I've planned this for a long time." She looked down, hiding her true thoughts. "You're right, but John got hurt for the company. As the boss, I should check on him." I agreed reluctantly. "You're right." I let her go back alone. As I put her in the car, she asked, "Are you sure you won't come with me?" "We can always come back. If we leave now, we'll lose the mood." She couldn't persuade me. "I'll handle things and come back." I nodded. "I'll wait for you." As soon as she left, I called Emily. "Hey, want to join me?" I bought her a ticket, and she arrived in the afternoon, full of energy. She walked ahead, excited, while I followed slowly, carrying her luggage. "Why are you walking so fast?" I asked. She stopped, waiting for me. "I'm just so happy. I get to work and play." "Where are we going next?" "West, to experience different cultures and hot springs," I replied, sticking to the original plan. "Isn't Mary important?" I asked myself. Yes, but my happiness is more important. When Mary called, we had reached our next destination. She was checking in at the hotel while I answered the phone. "How's John?" I asked. "The doctor said he needs a few days in the hospital, but it's not serious," she replied. "That's a relief," I said. I was worried. "David," she hesitated, "can you come back?" "No way. Do you know where I am?" "After you left, guess who I ran into?" "An old friend from my cousin's studio. We're traveling together." Mary was silent, probably trying to remember the friend. "The trip is almost over. Let me finish it with her," I said. Mary reluctantly agreed. "Okay, be safe." She sent a message, "Have fun and come back soon." I replied with an emoji, "Got it, boss." Emily stood behind me. "Your wife is really unlucky." I nodded. "Yes, she is." We enjoyed the rest of the trip. I took photos at every stop, sending them to Mary when she asked. "Where are you now?" she asked. "Experiencing different cultures," I replied. "Come back soon." I miss you, she said. We